And Brax is just literally fucking awesome.
Swag has had like this level of almost like celebrity appeal.
Brax is really good, but his play style is really unique. Not many people play like him.
He can do everything. Even on Rankcast, it's really easy to play with him. He's a really good player. He's always playing the right way.
He'll only get one actually. Swag on the other side. Oh, Swag with 3 frags. This is huge from Swag. Finally, he's back in action.
They've like look at what's been taken away from them. Like it's the no pro career is even possible. No involvement in Counter-Strike on anything that involves Valve.
And then Swag, obviously, fucking probably the best player in NA. It's just really unfortunate.
It's such a shitty situation because it's like there's 2 sides to every story, obviously. You know what I mean? So
for me, it's a little bit too harsh for what happened. For being the first time it ever happened. I understand the consequences, understand how hard it was and how serious.
Braxton Swag Pierce was once one of North American Counter-Strike's fastest rising stars. Now, he's on the sidelines. But before he was permanently banned from Valve events, Swag was considered by some to be the next great NA player.
What is this? This kid's a fucking amazing savant! Dude, this guy's fucking pre-fired angels that don't exist!
And there were plenty of indications that it might happen. Born in North Carolina in 1996, Swag was 7 years old when he played Counter-Strike for the first time. Initially trying the game at his cousin's house, his obsession with the game was not immediate. Like so many players though, he was eventually sucked in by CS 1.6. In his early teens, he became a strong enough player to begin playing in ESEA, and would make his LAN debut with full gaming in Season 9 at the age of 15.
They drove like 14 hours or whatever from North Carolina to support him, and it was his mom, his like aunt, and his older brother, and they had all came there. I was like, "You're Swag, right?" And I shook his hand, and I shook everyone's hand in the thing, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I look forward to playing against you." And he was like literally tiny at this point. It was so awesome.
He would move on to join Back-to-Back Gaming, where he would play with Sean Meiliunas and eventually Semphis, competing in the ESEA Season 10 Invite LAN. Swag's early success was enough to attract attention on its own, but it was his signature style of play, which emphasized patience and lurking, that marked him as something truly special.
I definitely had respect for him because I had watched him online. And normally when you watch the up-and-coming kids, they're very like hyper-aggressive and their aim and dexterity is just so amazing, right? But it wasn't only that, the kid was super patient and just like outplaying kids, and I was like, oh, he's actually like got patience. Swag was a little different. He was like he'd mess with me, jiggle peek me, wait, bait, do these little things unique to his teammates. We'd call him a little baiter, but he would always like seal the deal for his team. And I remember watching him just be like, oh, and not only that, the kid's actually a good kid. He's communicating well. He doesn't really bitch to his teammates. Like when he dies, he's just kind of like having fun. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
It was when Swag joined Team Dynamic in September 2012 that his potential started to become known in the North American scene. Playing on a roster with Adren and AZK, the team came second at the ESEA Invite Season 12 Global Finals, losing to Area 51 Gaming.
It's all up now to Swag. Can he save the day? Or will 51 win? No! 51 is your Invite champion here for the first CSGO Invite LAN for ESEA.
But then, like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't after long to 1.6 was having a little decline, and there wasn't as many good players in North America. I was like, this kid's got to be on my team. There's no question about it. And we started playing on each other's team, and then I think we won the last couple, like, 1.6 LANs together. And then, of course, going into Go, he's just kind of a natural.
It was also the competitive ESEA LAN debut of Counter-Strike Global Offensive after its release on August 21st, 2012. Swag continued his ascent through the competitive scene. Though they added nothing to the roster in November 2012, Team Dynamic broke up in late February 2013. Swag and Nothing stuck together in a roster called Lurking and Working, which brought back Sean Meiliunas and Semphis, adding Hiko to the mix. After 5 months, the roster was transferred to Complexity Gaming. At the ESEA Season 14 LAN, the team came up short in the grand finals against Ninjas in Pajamas, who had been on a tear since the release of Global Offensive.
You talking shit about Nip?
What do you gotta say about them?
But the Complexity roster had shown that the assembled skill of Semphis, Nothing, Sean Gers, Hiko, and Swag were a dangerous force. In late 2013, the team managed a 3rd to 4th finish against eventual tournament winners Fnatic at DreamHack Winter 2013. While Complexity continued to be competitive, they fell short against both European mainstays in CSGO. In early 2014, Swag took the next step in his career, making it known that he wanted to leave Complexity, which he eventually did to join iBUYPOWER. It was with iBUYPOWER where he would rejoin AZK. Also already on the roster were in-game leader Dazed and op Prodigy Skadoodle. Days later, they added Steel as their 5th. Immediately, the roster looked like they could become a dominant force in CSGO's North American scene. But the big break for iBUYPOWER was at the ESEA Season 16 LAN Finals. There, playing Complexity Gaming in the Grand Finals, iBUYPOWER showed that a shift really was taking place in NACS. Facing down 4 former teammates, Swag was a crucial part of his team's success.
Jump to Hiko in Max 7, and that is going to do it. Your ESEA Season 16 LAN Final champions is going to be iBUYPOWER.
The team continued to gather momentum. They earned a trip to ESL 1 Cologne, where they earned valuable experience against Fnatic and Virtus Pro in Group C. They demolished Cloud9 at the CEVO Season 5 Professional Finals 4-1 2 months later.
Hiko with 5 HP. iBUYPOWER has won it 19-17 in overtime. They are grand final champions of the first ever CEVO LAN.
And there's the team cams. You see them hugging it out. They are so happy about that.
Publicly, everything seemed to be going well. They, and not Cloud9, made it out of the group stage at the Face It League Season 2 LAN Finals, taking a game from Fnatic in the Grand Finals.
Falling like dominoes, and iBUYPOWER, they win that round in like 20 seconds. That was a full buy. Fnatic not able to even put the slightest of fights into that last round.
In early January, the roster left iBUYPOWER and founded GX, Swag going along with them. Steel had already left the team and had been replaced by Hiko. Rumors swirled that the team would be picked up by none other than Evil Geniuses, who had left the Counter-Strike scene in early 2012. But the team had already made a fateful choice, one that would change the course of the players' careers, and perhaps North American Counter-Strike as a whole forever. It was August 20th, 2014, during CEVO Season 5, when the team lost a game against NetcodeGuides.com, a 16-4 trouncing on DE Season.
Goes off, they know where he is now, makes a shot, and Tarik shuts it down. Netcode Guides beating iBUYPOWER on Season.
Netcode Guides was a team that iBUYPOWER would normally have been expected to easily beat. While there were immediate concerns from fans that the game appeared to have been thrown, complaints that tend to surface whenever an upset happens, they initially appeared to be baseless. However, eSports journalist Richard Lewis uncovered some evidence almost immediately that suggested that the match had been fixed. A conflict of interest between Dazed and Netcode Guides was exposed, and it was revealed that Dazed co-owned the group that owned Netcode Guides. Chat messages showed Shazam, then a content creator for that group, confirming the match had been fixed. He later offered a no comment. The story dropped off the map until January 2015, when Lewis published a follow-up report. It referenced a series of text messages sent by Derek Bourne telling his ex-girlfriend that not only had the match been fixed, he had placed bets for the iBUYPOWER roster on alternate accounts through former competitive player Duck Cud Fam. Once Lewis presented this and other evidence to CSGO Lounge, they confirmed the transactions on alternate accounts had been placed by Fam.
What is he doing? Why did he hesitate so much?
Shazam also confirmed to Lewis that the match fixing had taken place. 11 days later, Valve issued the notorious Integrity and Fair Play blog post that banned Fam, Bourne, Netcode Guides founder Casey Foster, along with Dazed, Swag, AZK, and Steel from official Valve events. Skadoodle was the only member of the roster to not be banned. Given that Valve had access to the information about the skins being transferred, it is presumed he did not benefit, something Steel confirmed in a statement after the bans were announced. In the end, 4 promising players lost their entire careers that day, all for a handful of skins, the exact amount of which is in dispute, but which DAZE claimed was around $700 per player.
People's careers have just been ended today by Volvo. Gaben has come down and struck multiple people with the vac hammer.
Swag joined Cloud9 as an analyst and streamer. He could not compete at Valve-sponsored events, and whether or not tournament organizers would let him compete at third-party tournaments was sometimes unclear. Nearly a year later, Valve issued a statement that clarified the bans.
Our decision was to ban these players indefinitely from involvement in Valve-sponsored events. To clarify, the bans for these players are permanent, and players proven to have taken part in match fixing will be permanently banned.
During the ban, Swag continued to stream, and as so often happens, his legend only grew. The mystique of the banned player is a recurring theme in esports, but nowhere is this felt so strongly as with Swag, who has arguably not yet even hit his prime.
You're fucking nuts, dude. Holy shit.
Swag and his teammates did eventually receive some good news. Both ESL and DreamHack confirmed that they will allow the ex-iBUYPOWER members to compete at their events, provided they are not Valve-sponsored. While Swag has played in online leagues like ESEA during his ban, he also played for Cloud9 at the CSGO Summit, where he again showed that the once-upon-a-time NACS Prodigy has still got it.
There it is.
Oh, what?
Shut up, Swag.
How
Get the
did he
replays
manage
that.
But really, knowing that Swag may still be that same player who showed up to his first event at 15 years old doesn't make the ban easier to bear. In many ways, the story of Swag could still end up being very different from the plot so far, and many fans have adapted the hashtag #FreeSwag and #FreeBrax in support of unbanning Swag from Valve-sponsored events. These fans hope that his story is simply a prologue for something greater to come, and that Swag's punishment will eventually fit the crime, that the fallen hero will one day get his shot at redemption.